F.T.P. presents True Tales of the Paranormal, Chapter 2.
Hi, my name is Mary, and this is my ghost story. I remember growing up, we used to play with the Ouija board, the pencils, my older sisters and my brother and some friends that would come from down the street and would try to contact the other side, which, I mean, that sometimes it looks like we did. And I remember being like so scared of being alone because I would hear things and think that I would see shadows. It came to a point where my dad had blessed the house maybe 2 or 3 times because we would hear footsteps, scratchings. I mean, it was just insane. It was like maybe one thing after another and day after day. And we learned, his name, and it's just like you could just feel a presence there. So by the time I was 16, my sisters had already moved out, and it was just my parents, my brother, and me. So now I had the room all to myself. So my room had a bed against the window, and the room was decorated with glow-in-the-dark stars and glow-in-the-dark star curtains all around the bed with a black light on, and that's how I would sleep. And I remember one night, I think it was maybe one of the scariest things that had happened. I remember waking up because I felt somebody staring at me. So I woke up and I was just gazing around the room, didn't even notice much. But then I started hearing a small knocking. So I started looking around, wondering where that knocking was coming from, but frightened at the same time, trying to tuck myself under the covers. And then I noticed that the knockings were a little bit louder and noticed that they were coming from the window. I was so scared to look, but finally I had the urge to look out the window. Well, not really look out the window, but look at the window, and there was a silhouette of somebody standing there. And when I noticed the silhouette, the knocking got a little bit louder. And as I kind of focused myself more at the window, the knocking just kept knocking and knocking and knocking. And finally it was pounding, which felt like forever, but it was really just a couple of seconds, where I started screaming so loud from the top of my lungs that my brother and my dad ran inside the room and asked me what's wrong. And I told them somebody was at my window. They both ran out of the room to see who was outside, and they didn't find nobody. They came back inside and asked me what happened, and I told them somebody was pounding on the window and nobody else heard it but me. My dad told me I was just dreaming, but I know it wasn't a dream. I still remember that day like it was just yesterday. I think it was the scariest thing that has ever happened to me paranormal.